officers are actually on the job these days.
The video shows a dead prisoner slumped over a cell block railing while others complain he's been there for hours, all because no officer is on duty in their section of the prison. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis investigated the video and the disturbing number of job vacancies in Georgia Department of Corrections. Randy?
That's right, Russ and Courtney. The Department of Corrections knows it has a problem attracting and keeping employees. They've raised pay, held job fairs across the state, but in some prisons like this one, records show they have only a third of the staff they need.
As you can see, it is Sunday, July 3rd at 8:17 a.m.
This anonymous prisoner recorded multiple videos of a gruesome scene at Ware State Prison. We'll let him tell it.
No officer have came back in this building and checked on nobody in over 3 hours. We have an inmate here that is dead, been hanging right here for the past 2 hours, at least 2.5 hours, dead.
We've blurred the image of 54-year-old John Eckers serving life with parole for murder. His body was balanced on the railing of the second level, arms dangling down. A Department of Corrections spokesman says staff arrived 18 minutes after this video was recorded.
Dead. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Investigators determined foul play is not suspected. But that's not the biggest question here.
Why couldn't you guys have alerted the staff earlier?
How could we when no one is in the booth, when no one is around?
One of Eckers' fellow dorm members agreed to talk to us from his bunk, as long as we did not show his face.
Is the Georgia prison system a more dangerous system now than in the past because of staffing?
Well, of course it is. Of course it is.
Let's go. Georgia's prison system is already under federal investigation. The U.S. Justice Department building its case, starting with lawsuits filed by the Southern Center for Human Rights.
You have many facilities across the state running staffing vacancy rates that are close to 70%, so you really only have one officer in a situation where you needed 3.
According to records Christina Remlin and her staff collected, Ware had a 68% job vacancy rate in January. The DOJ investigators actually paid a visit to Ware days before Eckers' body would be left hanging over a railing for hours.
I can't imagine a more dramatic illustration of the total crisis of violence and chaos inside of our prison systems.
The Department of Corrections turned down our request to interview Commissioner Timothy Ward. In a written statement, a spokesperson said, "We remain committed to ensuring the safety of both staff and offenders, and we continually evaluate any need for improvement in our processes."
I think the Department of Correction is trying to manipulate the free world to saying that it's not a problem.
Before he finished his sentence last year on drug charges, Andrew Richardson said he was stabbed by a fellow inmate multiple times.
And I was bleeding out in 3 ways, like the cartoon, the water coming out the cartoon, just bleeding, 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 bleeding. I'm passing out. He want an officer 100 foot away from him. No help.
He said the lack of officers made life more dangerous than when he first went to prison nearly 20 years ago. And for anyone who doesn't care about what happens to inmates, if a federal investigation determines civil rights violations, Georgia taxpayers could be on the hook for a lot of money.
I accepted my punishment. I took it. Now it's time for the Department of Correction to take their wrongdoing and to fix this.
They seem to be trying.
By joining the Georgia Department of Corrections, you become part of something.
Recruiters fan out across the state nearly every week. Entry-level pay is now more than $18 an hour. But in this economy, job seekers can likely find similar pay without the downside.
The job is a very, very traumatizing one, and in this context right now, there's a lot of chaos and a lot of violence, and it's understandable why people don't want to work there.
I got to tell you, this is an unusual interview, talking to an inmate from inside a prison. Why did you feel so strongly that you wanted to talk to me?
Well, because the people that need to get the proper attention are dying that don't need to be dying. If they have the proper, staffing, people will get the attention that they need.
The Department of Corrections is not confirming that Eckers' body was there for as long as those inmates insist it was. They say it's still under investigation.
Yeah, well, the inmate has spoken.